Thank you very much all for attending today. Obviously we're the final group here, so you shouldn't have to wait here for too much longer.
Cheers, mate.
So yeah, we worked within Charlie's Memories, and before we actually started working with them, not many of us knew about In Charlie's Memories, so working with them actually gave us a really good personal experience and an insight to what different charities run like, because they associate themselves with other charities. But first of all, introducing the team, my name is Alexander Stock, and for this project I was a team manager and director, as well as the main editor of the long form video.
I am Matthew Bailey. I was one of the cameramen helping record, and I was one of the graphic designers along with Ben.
I'm Jamal Jarju. I was the sound recorders and the editor for the short form video.
And unfortunately Ben isn't here with us today due to sickness, but for the project he was one of the other camera operators and also helped with some of the graphics for the videos as well as actual online content for the client. Moving on, our mission, we simply, when we first started working with them and briefed with the client, we wanted to figure out a way to showcase the success and development they've made over the last 10 years as a charity, starting from the date when they founded, when Charlie passed away unfortunately, and they started spreading the word on raising awareness for mental health from people aged 11 onwards, with no specific limit on that target audience. We also wanted to kind of make it like a slight documentary style where you kind of see what they do behind the screen of certain calls when people contact them for help and the kind of running behind the business itself.
We also wanted to provide the opportunity to help increase the successes of the fundraisers that they've been doing recently and to just raise awareness for the charity in general.
We also wanted to help combat the stigma that surrounds like mental health and receiving help, and to also help the charity create promotional material that will help them grow.
I'm passing on to Matthew, who will also work on some graphics. He's going to talk about some of the work he's done.
Yeah, so first thing I did was a business card. The research that I did showed that these really work in getting more people to know about the charity and to maybe refer someone they know to this charity. The colour palette is a colour palette that they wanted us to use. They recently shifted to this colour from a dark blue, and I just used I kept the dark blue, added the white to patch some things together. And then these are some quotes. There's a quote from the interview we did with the CEO, Dawn, and I think there's a really good quote to highlight what they do and why they do it. And also down there in the smaller caption is a bit more context to what they do. And then on the right there is a client testimonial from one of the people who has seeked help from In Charlie's Memory and has kindly just given a little bit of feedback from the charity.
Thank you, well done, explained. Obviously, since Ben isn't here, I'm going to talk about some of the graphics that he worked with me on. So on the left here, we kind of set up a standard Instagram post or Facebook post that you can utilise due to Facebook being their largest social media platform they have, which also gives a client testimonial on their experience of the charity and gives a much more updated image of some of the people that volunteer and work as employees of the charity itself. And then Ben wanted to focus more on the success of the charity over the 10-year period, and now coming up to their 10-year anniversary since being founded, and wanted to show that they actually won Somerset a multi-award Somerset business award based off their work they've done year on and year out. Moving on, we then also focused on a poster for their 10-year anniversary ball, which is being hosted at the Winter Gardens in Weston. Originally I got Matthew and Ben to work on a different poster design each, and they ended up combining this one. If you want to talk about that a bit, Matthew.
Yeah, so the basic design was designed by Ben. The design I had, most of the things that are incorporated from my design are the things at the bottom there, which is just the basic highlights of what's going to happen in the event, because Ben's original one had what they do as a charity, and when we chatted with Dawn, she wanted more information about the event in general.
Well done, well explained. And one little side note from our client review that we had on Friday, in the content that we produced for the anniversary call that is next month on the 15th of March, they also asked after reviewing our footage if they could use it in display at the ball, which I think is a very good success. But is the short film video that Jamil focused on editing.
So I edited the short form video that we filmed over the course of the first day. The video itself will be a TikTok/Instagram reel, and it is a first person experience of what it's actually like to receive counselling at the Charlie's Memory charity. And when I was actually making it, I was trying to think of ideas for how I could help combat stigma, because the main reason why people don't get help is because they are scared of being judged by other people. So in this video I really wanted to capture how it's a safe space where people can get back to being, healthy and happy.
Hi there, who are you here to see?
Hello, I'm here to see Mike.
Yeah, okay, no worries, take a seat, he'll be out in a moment.
Perfect, thank you.
You're worthless. They're going to judge you. No one likes you.
No one hates you. You can't be helped.
Hello, is it Alex? Hello Alex, I'm Mike, one of the counsellors here. Would you like to follow me? Make yourself comfortable in the chair there. Thank you for coming today. Have you ever had counselling before?
That was a good session. I can't wait to return next week. This place isn't as bad as I expected it to be. It's really helped me, I think. This is good for me. Thank you very much for that.
There you go, that was the short film video. Obviously we had some slight issues on the filming side with audio on it, but we still produced something through John's editing, which I think is really, really good. On the note of this short film video, before we move on to the long form video, they aren't as connected as maybe other groups have worked on, but our aim initially was to give that kind of slight different content that they could use instead of it just being recycled and the same. So that's the reason why we went for this POV compared to this more documentary style long form video, which I hope you enjoy. Oh, you're gonna have to play on the course Dropbox. I'll play it there.
No, I'll just get on control.
Thank you.
My day-to-day job at Charlie's Memory, it's really hard to say what my job involves. It's a little bit of everything. It's overseeing the general running of the organisation. It's making sure Charlie's story gets out there. It's really important that people know why we're here. Charlie was a real person and we're here because he's not.
So my role is quite varied. It's operations and finance, HR, payroll, strategic planning, lots of meetings with lots of people.
I manage all of our social media accounts, so Facebook, Instagram, Threads. I also cover receptions, all of the bookings, phone calls, emails from clients.
People come to work with us for their own reasons, and so it's very important that as a counsellor we don't set the agenda for them.
So we also have a youth club which started in the summer.
So the idea is that the kids have somewhere to go that's outside of school and home life, that they can come and just be themselves. So we roughly have, I think 105 people registered to the youth club. We provide arts and crafts. They've got a pool table.
Current process for seeing a counsellor in Charlie's Memory, it really is as simple as making a phone call. Phone up, say that you want to be seen and some details are going to be taken over the phone, or you can go onto our website and you can click and fill out a form on our website.
The clients that come to see us, they pay to be here. It's a small amount compared to counselling in the sort of private sector.
We've tried to match the client to the counsellor.
Goal or an aim perspective is really to help the client find their own voice, and then we just allow them to express themselves in a very safe environment so that that's possible.
Currently we're seeing over 200 clients at the moment. We've obviously got a waiting list, we're always going to have a waiting list. But the fact that we're seeing as many clients as what we are a week shows you the need for Charlie's Memory.
ICM is a well-known charity in the area, and then having a youth club that's attached to this is kind of like a more relaxed approach for kids to come and talk and be themselves.
To charge a £1 fee
each member.
As the CEO of Charlie's Memory, I've definitely got big goals. I would love to see little pop-up branches of In Charlie's Memory. And if I can get the funding, if I can get the community behind us, if I can get the donations, I will make it happen.
Especially when we get like the client testimonials at the end, it's quite rewarding work.
Each and every one of us has our mental health. We have to reduce the stigma. Because if we reduce the stigma and we continue to talk about mental health, less young people will die by suicide.
Thank you very much.
That's absolutely beautiful. Gina and Pat, I don't know if you just want to say a few words just before we have our
That was so
feedback.
powerful and moving. Like, I think everyone was touched by that. It's a wonderful organisation and a wonderful charity, but you've really done a really excellent service here to be able to get that across in such a compassionate and meaningful way. And yeah, I think you've dealt with it really sensitively. And I'm sure that the clients are really, really happy with what you produced there. Really well researched as well. You know, I always go on about research, but I can tell when there's a really good film that there was really good research that happened at the beginning. Jamil, that idea for that POV shot, I think that's so reassuring to people, because you know when you're going somewhere new and you just don't know what to expect, and you're like, what door do I go in? What are they going to say to me when I get in there? Where will I sit? And like, you've just kind of allayed all of those fears in one tiny short content film, and so I think that would be really, really effective. And the long form, really lovely, well put together, really nicely filmed, great range of shots. The way that you've kind of captured that really nice kind of soothing environment as well. And that has gone from your planning. I can tell that this is well planned. I can tell that you thought about every shot. I can tell that you paid attention to your sound and how you set that up. But yeah, I think we were really moved by that. So well done, and excellent job.
Thank you.
Yeah, to echo Gina's comments, that POV video was really, really clever, really creative, very novel idea, and it achieved your aim brilliantly, I think. It certainly made me feel like I'd be very comfortable to walk in there, and kind of allayed any fears that any young person might have to walk into counselling, so really well done. The long form audio is brilliant, really nice and clean on every one of those interviews. It was informative, it was soft, and echoed what the charity is about, I think. Certainly made you feel at ease, but it was super informative. It was really clear that you guys had done your research beforehand and you knew what the charity was about. I thought the graphics were really nice and clean. Even kind of the business card having that little triangle that moves across from one side to the other onto the reverse and stuff was really nice attention to detail. Yeah, I think I said everything. Really, really nice work.
Yeah, and just credit again your organisation, the logistics, running the team. I think your team is probably the one I spent the most time with. Obviously, just taking you to different locations and just how you all responded to the client and worked with the client and just made things happen. Just really, really, I think that's like just a huge well done as well for that. So just Charlie, any more to add? Just on that?
I think it's all been said.
So I think that's it, though, guys. It's just been a real